Hello and welcome to the first ever podcast for Destiny CCG. This is the High Ground, the Star Wars Destiny podcast. I am your host, Justin Legend Rodriguez. I am here with Ronald Anthony and Jeremy Snowden. Let's go around the table, introduce ourselves, say what deck you play, and that's about it. So Ron, we'll start with you.
Alright, how's it going, everybody? I'm Ron, the best player here. And I played a bunch of different decks. Favorite deck is Dooku, Kylo, but currently I'm testing around with Aura Singh and Django, and I'm also using Krennic Death Trooper.
Alright, Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I tried playing Mill. I failed horribly. That was the worst experience of my life.
You did. You failed.
And then finally today I played Emo Kids and topped. So that's
For the first time, round of applause. Woo!
That's
So proud.
That's gonna be my
So
deck for
proud.
Sunday at the Sword Championship. Okay.
Alright, and my name's Justin, your host. I play Palpatine, and I'm trying to make another deck. I don't know exactly what yet, but I'm getting there. I'm having fun with it right now. So guys, we got, when we first got into this game, what were your first thoughts about it? Like, I remember we were at Sawgrass Mall, and Ron, I believe it was you, talking about Star Wars Destiny, and we were looking up all the stuff that was in Awakenings that was revealed so far. How do you feel that the game is now versus when we first started, when we only had Awakenings to play with?
Well, with Awakenings, of course, it's much different than we have now, because with Spirit Rebellion, the meta shifted and changed dramatically. With Awakenings, you have, of course, a much less big of a card pool. You only had the starter decks and that one set. And the meta was a lot slower. The whole action chain thing wasn't as prevalent. You had just, like, Django was the meta. Django was, even though he got his head cut off, he was the meta for sure. You had, Rey was up there a little bit, Beta Raider, all that. Which I liked the slow format. I thought the slow format was pretty good. You weren't taking, 4, 5, or 6 actions and action cheating with how it is now. Because when Spirit Rebellion came out, it completely changed how things work. Because now you have all the raid decks just, going 4 or 5 actions. You got Poe Ray just resolving their dice and just hitting you for 20 damage a round. And yeah, it's just a much faster format. Some people would say it's good, some people would say it's bad. So I think the game's in a good place. It's just much faster than before. That's all.
Jeremy, what do you think about the game? Let me ask you a question. When you first heard about Star Wars Destiny, that it was going to be a dice and card game, what were your first initial thoughts about it?
Oh, I thought it was trash. I didn't want to play it at all.
He did. When I suggested it to Jeremy, he's just like, "Oh, this game is trash."
Yeah, I remember this.
Because when I first found out about it, I was on Cool Stuff Games at our locals, and I'm just looking for a game. I'm like, "Oh, what's Star Wars Destiny?" It's a card game. And I'm like, "Oh, it's dice. That'd be nice." Told Justin, because Justin was already he's a huge Star Wars fan like me. He's like, "Oh, hell yeah, we're doing this." Jeremy's like, "This is trash." Within a week, he's like, "I'm in."
Yeah, he can't make up his mind for shit.
Yeah, but now he's in with us. So.
All right, so guys, it's Wednesday night. It's down here in South Florida at our locals. Every Wednesday night we have the Star Wars Destiny tournament, and we just got back. Ron, you didn't play today because there was some dice missing that was left at my house, but That's whatever. Jeremy, you played today. How did you do?
Yeah, tell us how you did today, because I watched him play today, and today was a great day for Jeremy.
Well, I couldn't play the deck I wanted to play because I left the dice at Justin's house, so I borrowed Andrew's Emo Kids, and I went 3-1, so I was able to get 4th place and topped. It was okay.
How were your matchups?
Round 1, I played Rey Qui-Gon. I put my boot up his ass. It was really easy.
Yeah, I watched the game. The guy was not as skilled in that as some people.
And round 2, I was playing against Joe. He's one of the better. He's one of the veteran players. He's one of the better ones. I was able to roll double special on Anakin and kill Rey, but once I started getting weapons on Maz, he started killing my character and was able to get the win. Round 3.
It was against the first Hokage, Cornelius.
Yeah, it was Obi-Wan Padawan, right?
Yeah, Obi-Wan Padawan.
I thought it was Ray.
Was it Obi-Wan Ray or Obi-Wan?
No,
Padawan?
it was Obi-Wan Ray.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I remember playing against Ray.
He was switching that out.
I was focusing too much. I don't remember too much on it. All I remember is the last round I claimed, so I put out Kylo. Really? Anyway, I ran and Kylo did a whole bunch of damage. He was I resolved the mind probe or hit him with a
shit ton of damage.
Or with the Viper Knife for game. Round 4, I played against
Vader Raider.
Vader Raider, and I killed Vader quickly and won, and I was able to top.
Nice. And
you scrubbed out.
how I mean, I didn't scrub out. I top every week. It's just
Well, not recently. The past couple weeks, you've had these in Palpatine. Like, with Palpatine, like...
Explain the last 3 weeks.
It's just...
Yeah. Explain your drought.
It's just... I don't know. I'm having... Ever since I got back from... actually, no. A week after I got back from Mexico, I've just been not topping.
Where you almost died?
It's whatever. It's you know... We all have a drought season, but...
yeah.
My drought season, the entire season.
Yeah,
your drought season was when a game debuted.
Exactly.
Very much, yeah.
So, like, how do you feel about when because I know this happened a few times at Cool Stuff. Well, first in the beginning, I know for a fact, when the game first came out, they were out of product. So to make up for entry packs, they would give you store credit. And now, a few weeks ago, we entered and they didn't have no product at all. They didn't say anything to any of the players, and a few of us were upset because we didn't know what was going on. And how do you feel? Both this question, both of you, Ron and Jeremy. How do you feel that both of you like how locals should combat that kind of situation? Where do you think they should have a set amount of product on the side for sale, and then the others should be put away for tournament entry and prize support? Or do you think they should just like have 90% of their inventory for Star Wars Destiny be for sale, and then the 10% be for tournament and prize support?
All right. Well, first you have to understand this. Like, it's not all the time the store's fault, because
for sure.
Yeah, because like when Awakenings first came out, Fantasy Flight, they only made a certain amount. They didn't make. They didn't
expect this game to be as explosive as it is.
It exploded. Like, for months there was no product. They produced their product, and it created this whole inflation. Like, cards were becoming overpriced. You couldn't find boxes for a reasonable price, and that's not really the store's fault. If there's no product, there's no product. If supply is higher than demand, I mean, what can you do? But in the sense of because when a store does get the product, I do think it should be 90%. I feel like they should have, like, split in half. If they have, like, cases of it, have half of it be for online and store sales, and have half for product for the entry. Because not everybody wants store credit. Yeah, store credit is fine. You can get free entries, essentially, buy whatever you want.
I don't mind store credit.
Me neither. It depends on the day. But a lot of people want the packs. They come there to enter and get packs because there are some people who just don't buy packs or boxes. They get it through winning tournaments. If they don't get that, they kind of feel their time is wasted. So when a store is low on product, they should really conserve, at least in my view, most, or if not all of it, really for tournament entry, because that's where you're going to make your money as a tournament entry. Yeah, you'll sell boxes, but when someone orders a box online and then the product is just gone, and you're on hold for like 2 weeks, and you're $110.
That happened to me.
Yeah, that happened to you, and a few other people ordered it. It becomes a problem. So I feel like it should be 50-50. At least try to manage it. And also, for running a store, tell your your patrons and the people into the tournament that, oh, we have no product, we're using store credit,
Yeah,
or we don't have this set, we have the other set. Do you want this or store credit?
Yeah,
don't tell us
after round 2.
Yeah, because like in that tournament where it happened, it was like halfway in, and we're all like, "Where's our entry pack?" Because usually they would give out an entry pack for
at the beginning of round 1.
Round 1, like they really got some product, and we're all like, "Where the hell is our product? Where the hell is our pack?" And some of us are like, went up to a counter like, "Oh, we don't have any product," and we're all like, "You should have told us this."
Yeah.
So that's on their end. So yeah.
Jeremy looks like he wants to say something.
What?
All right, so guys, this Sunday we have the second store championship for down here in South Florida. Cool stuff. I'm entering. I'm pretty sure both of you are entering.
Yeah, we're all entering.
We have the first Hokage, Cornelius. He's going to be trying to make a second reign,
defend his title.
But Ron, what when you enter in, when you walk in on Sunday, what do you expect to play against? What do you expect to do you take to see the most of? Like what decks do you expect?
What decks are we prevalent?
Yeah.
Well, obviously Pomaz, I'm expecting a lot. Well, because Pomaz is one of the better decks of the meta, despite what people think of it, including me. But I do think there'll be more FN decks, because from what I've seen in our locals for a while, it's like there's like 1 or 2 Pomaz, a couple emo kids, and like the rest are FN variants.
And the one Palpatine player, which is me.
Yeah, so I think FN's gonna be more prominent. We're gonna see, of course, Pomaz, emo kids, which what Jeremy topped with today, and I think is gonna be a big prevalent thing. I played it. I think it's fine, but yeah, that's nice, Jeremy.
What are you going to be entering on Sunday?
Oh, me? It's between Aura Singh, Django, and Chronic Trooper, because since I played the game, I've played different decks. Dooku Kyle was my first deck and my favorite deck. I had emo kids. I had what do you call it? I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, so I had those decks. I had Aura, Bala. I've tried all kinds of different decks. So Chronic Trooper looks like it's a deck I'm going to be playing with, or I might do Chronic Bala. I might mesh them together. So it depends on what I feel has tested the best.
And what about you, Jeremy? What do you expect to see on Sunday, and what are you going to be playing?
I expect to see a lot of what he said, FN decks, Pomaz, which I never play against Pomaz.
Oh, you will.
And maybe emo kids. I'm 100% playing emo kids. That's my new favorite deck.
You found love of that deck.
I'm turning gay for Anakin. He's like the greatest guy ever. But I'll be playing that. Hopefully Justin will be selfish and give us freaking Viber knives.
Yeah, just find the 2 that I gave you.
It's like the case of the missing Viber knives. Oh, also, I want to chime in. I think we'll see Ray decks. I think Ray with whoever boy of the week she wants to be with is going to be there. Like either Luke or Han, which is the ones I've seen the most. Some Poe Rays, but I think Luke Ray and Han Ray are going to also be there too. Because, after today, seeing Luke Ray do like 8 unblockable with the Maz in turn 1, and then just repeatedly roll the 3 melee on both of Luke's dice and just kill Poe, I think in the right hands that deck will do good too. So.
And how do you guys feel about quote unquote the meta right now? Like like how with Awakenings it was Jango Bella Trooper. If not that, then it would be I don't know if Poe Maz was a thing back then. I know Poe Ray and Han Ray was a thing.
No Maz yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because if it did, though, that meta would have been completely different.
What's it called? But yeah, how do you guys feel like the meta it was when it was just Awakenings versus now? Do you feel like it's too fat? Like this meta right now is too fast because Maz being just a thing on its own, Fast Hands being a thing on its own, cards like Vibro Knife, Vibro Knucklers, FN, just cards like those that do free cheating. Do you feel like this meta is on its own too cheatful, or I don't know if that's a word, but if it's like way too fast. Way too fast for this metagame right now. Before we get Empire at War in a few weeks.
Well, to be honest, with we're talking about Awakenings for a second. The meta there was, of course, way different than it is now. Of course, you had Jango Bala Trooper, Vader Raider. You had,
I forgot about Vader.
Dooku variants, of course, Dooku Kylo. And that deck wasn't as fast, but Jango was the ultimate cheap. Because, like, oh, I'll roll in my character. Oh, I'll roll in Jango with all these upgrades. Do massive damage. You can't mitigate unless you got an extra action with Tactical Mastery Array, which were the only real ways to, aside from ambush cards, you can get action cheating. And also, for me, there was a lot more player interaction in that format, which I feel like in a lot of tournaments, a lot of games I'm seeing that's lacking. Because when Spirit Rebellion came out, of course, everybody was like, oh my god, 4 speed's going to be the deck, that could be the most broken card. It's currently the most expensive card in Spirit Rebellion, but by itself it's not broken. It's just the decks that are in. And, Rey is the biggest culprit of that because when you go, Fiber Knife, 4 speed, roll, get the special, roll in Maz, and then, resolve that and get 2 more actions, you essentially had like 4, 5, or even 6 actions. So not only have you rolled in all your characters, you probably disrupted them, discarded some cards, did damage, claimed, bought their house, and married their mom, and pretty much said, I'm the dad now. And it's just, for me personally, I think it's a little too fast because the one thing that attracted me to the game and a lot of other people was this was a very player interaction oriented game because, in a round I'll go play this card, then you'll go play a card, I'll roll out, then you'll roll out, I'll mitigate this, or I'll play this, so on and so forth. Now, with how fast things are, decks are resolving their dice and doing all this stuff that normally you won't be able to do with the right mitigation, and it's leaving, at least in my view, a lot of decks that have all these dice mitigation cards, they're dead cards. You might as well just throw them in the trash. So, for blue, I play blue mostly through these formats, and, isolation, mind trick, overconfidence, what have you. A lot of times they're dead cards because if you're doing against Pomaz, you've got, they're using fast hands, they're doing, Maz effect, they're doing hit and run. They're resolving all their dice before I can even have a chance, I want to get rid of it. Oh, now I can't do anything except twiddle my thumbs. There was actually this one, a couple weeks ago, I was playing against a Han Ray deck. He did 6 actions, and I was playing base Snap. He killed Snap round 1. I was like, there goes that. And then 2 rounds later, even though I tried to hold on, he just destroyed Baze despite me killing Ray. So, yeah, I think the meta's a little too fast. But is it game breaking? Again, it depends on who you talk to. Some people will be like, oh, there's too much action cheating, I can't do much. Some are like, oh, I like action cheating. I can do whatever I want, with little to no consequence, and just beat your face in. So,
Jeremy, how do you feel about the meta right now?
The only card I hate the worst out of everything in this world is Planetary Uprising.
You mean the card that you lose to on a daily basis?
When I use it, it's hunky dory. It's that's a broken card. When it's against me, no.
It's no, you can't use that against me. That's my kid.
Cards like 4 speed, fast hands. I believe it was Force Choke. That was the most expensive card in Awakenings when it first came out. Cards like those, when they are really expensive like that, how do you feel? Do you feel like it's essential for? And let's say it's your color, Ron. You say you and I both play blue, but neither of us plays 4 speeds because we don't feel like it's necessary for the decks that we play. It's a great card to have. It's just not essential to have. Now, I believe I was playing. I forgot what deck I was playing back then, but I know you were playing Dooku Kylo. You had 2 Force Chokes, and that card was absolutely amazing for your deck.
Yeah, that was the most expensive blue card at the time.
do you agree with like how expensive force speed is? Um, fast hands, force choke, things like that. Like, cause like right now, I believe batons are what 26 each.
About, give or take.
Do you, like, do you feel like do you feel like the cards and what they do and their sides are equivalent to their pricings? Because force speed is what, Jeremy? 40, 45?
60.
60? Damn, really? Holy shit. So, and that's just it. It's only because it's a cost zero upgrade, it's neutral,
Three special sides.
and it has 3 special sides. Do you agree that it's $60
Yes.
per card?
Because I have yet to see a card out of stock. It is the bullshit I want when I miss my stock.
Yeah, like our store, like it's been out of stock for weeks. Like you can't. They have like 20 of everything else. You can get a whole Palpatine deck, but you can't get 4 speeds.
You have no idea. I checked Chinese Player, Amazon, everywhere. I look it up. Nobody has it. It's like, what the fuck?
And then when they sell them, they're going immediately.
like, do they like?
And nobody wants to sell them or trade them either, because it's an expensive card. And yeah, you had to sell yours. That was unfortunate. But back to the whole idea of the card making the price. It's yes and no, because for one thing, sometimes it doesn't make the difference. But most of these cards we're naming are legendary. The rarity kind of speaks for itself. If it's a legendary, it's going to be more expensive than a rare. And obviously, a card like Baton is just great. For me, it deserves to be the price, just because of what it does. It's like, oh, I rolled in, I got garbage, I rolled in again. If I get garbage again, then I guess, luck has told me to go screw myself. But force speed, for me, it shouldn't be $60, honestly. Just because, yeah, you have a 50% chance, essentially, of getting that special off. But you actually have to roll it. And if you do, congratulations. If you don't, whatever. I feel certain cards are kind of overpriced. Like, before, because Jeremy showed me this, before Spirit Rebellion came out, Paladin was pre-ordered for like $100, right? $100.
Oh, shit, yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Pre-ordered to get one card with the dice.
I believe
that's $100.
I believe Lightning was about 80 for pre-order.
80 for Lightning, and that's not counting the fact that you need 2. You have to buy 2 of them to get the 2 dice because you're gonna play Elite Palatine.
Yeah.
You're not gonna use Palatine with Bala or a guard.
Hey man, that was a fun deck, alright?
But did it win?
It was close to. If it was a 5-round tournament,
If it
I would have
didn't
chopped,
win,
okay?
I could
Palpatine
care
with a
less.
jetpack and a holdout blaster is like the funniest feeling in the world. But continue.
Thank you for yelling. But and then Force Lightning, $80. So like, if you wanted at that time, were dumb enough. I'm sorry, but if you were dumb enough to do that, you deserve to minus because you spent what it's like $360 on 4 cards, 4 dice. Not to mention shipping and handling when it finally comes out, if you get it.
What's that shipping and handling?
Yeah, because like there is shipping and handling. You cannot avoid that unless you have Amazon Prime. That's essentially it. So like that's with any card game with a pre-order, things would be over expensive. But again, it just depends on the card. Force Choke in Awakenings meta was one of the best blue cards because it was one of the better mitigation cards. Oh, do unblockable damage and turn dice to a blank. Make your opponent have to work for the extra damage. So, for me at least, it just depends on rarity, what the card does, and whether it's also prevalent in the meta. Because there are legendaries that are like $5, and they're just complete garbage now. So,
all right, let's go around the table real quick, and let's just name our top 5 Star Wars Destiny cards from any set. It could be character, upgrade, event, whatever, support, doesn't matter. Ron, let's start with you. Top 5, go.
Top 5? Okay. And you want them in order? Or?
Yeah, you can go from 5 to 1.
Alright, I'm not going to order because I can't really place these. They're so good. Character, Count Dooku, I thought was one of the better characters in Awakenings. Again, I play the deck, so I'm going to be biased. Sue me. But the fact that he's a cheap character cost, 11-14, or 12-15, I can't seem to remember. 10 health, which is good. He has great size, and the fact that you can just, give him shields when he's taking damage, so he's hard to kill. And to combo that with Force Choke was my favorite, because whenever I get Force Choke out, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be doing something, because it's like, oh, you've got, I would holocron the Force Choke, and it's like, oh, special, 1 damage, that 1 dice you need to win or do damage, it's blank. Now you have to discard or just pass and claim and cry. Holocron, a lot of these are going to be blue because I play blue, so I'm sorry if I don't name Ray or Han or some of these other people. So, because to me, Sith Holocron is the best blue card for villains because it gives villains that one edge that heroes don't have.
I could agree with that.
You can essentially cheat out any Force ability, no matter how much it costs, no matter what, and just play for free. And then if you have a extra dollar resource hanging around, roll it in. And if I get a special, resolve it. Which to me is why villains will always be better in terms of blue.
Yep.
Another favorite card that I like Tactical Mastery for red, just because it goes back to a time where it's like, oh, having those 2 extra actions meant something. Now it's like I get 6 actions, I don't care, I'll just do whatever. And
whenever someone plays Tactical Mastery, I just hold my breath and pray.
Yeah, it's like you just pray that they don't
pray to God they
roll
shit.
Anything. And number 5 is a toss-up. So I'm actually going to cheat and put 2 cards into 5. I'm going to put General Grievous and the Kylo Saber.
Why Grievous?
Grievous? I always like Grievous. I think Grievous is a great character in Star Wars, even though he got, kind of chumped down in the movie. Clone Wars and everything, he's much better. Really? Well, there goes...
That was my phone.
There was a podcast. No, because Grievous, his character cost is expensive. He has 10 health, like Dooku. His sides are great. If you can resolve his melee side, that's excellent.
His ability's even better.
His ability is great. Like, I can steal your lightsaber. I can steal your fast hands now. I can steal your vibra knife. Like, I've played on tabletop with Grievous Anakin to success. Not great, but I like the deck. And I would have him have a baton, a vibra knife. I would steal a vibra knife and overwrite for like a lightsaber. So it's pretty good. And I put Kylo Saber with it too because that was my favorite blue upgrade of Awakenings.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Because it has essentially 4 damage sides. Because you've got a 3-for-1, a 2 modifier, a 3 modifier, and the special. The special, you can do 1 damage. If you eat shields, you can just do damage. So it's like, I played Jeremy one time for a fun game. He claims, and I believe it was Ray or Qui-Gon, because he played Ray Qui-Gon, and he had max shields. I rolled special, and I rolled the 3 for game. So, like...
I'm trying to block the number.
Well, now I brought it back. So, those are my top 5 favorite, even though it's 6. I don't care, it's my favorites.
Alright, Jeremy, your top 5.
My top 5. Number 5 is Ray. My Ray's my wife.
So, of course.
Even though we broke up, she's fucking whore. Number 4 is Synchronicity. The card is too good. I love that card.
What does Synchronicity do, Jeremy?
Well, if I have a damage, a melee damage, and a shield, I do 2 unblockable for 0.
Wow.
Whoa, that's
pretty good.
It's better than fucking the other thing that villains have. That costs 1. It's not even unblockable. Kind of garbage is that? Card's trash.
What card are you talking about?
Lightsaber throw.
Lightsaber throw?
3 is Luke's lightsaber. I always roll 3 with that beautiful lightsaber.
Kylo Ren's better, but...
I know. Okay. Number 2 is Qui-Gon. He's my homie. He's my G. He survived. He's in Africa. And number 1 has to be Vibra Knife, because that card changed the game.
It did.
It did.
That made melee decks.
I could agree with that.
Yeah, it's 5. Yeah, you did 5. You can count. Justin,
Alright.
your 5.
My 5, at the number 5 slot, we're going to have the High Ground. The card, the High Ground. That card has won me two games in tournament just on its own. Palpatine, I'll have Palpatine at 14 health. And my opponent's character would be at 1 health left, and either they would roll out first and have damage, or I would roll out first and not have damage. Either way, that card just won me 2 games, and I was really happy with that. At the number 4 spot, we're gonna have Unkar. I like Unkar, even though he's doing okay now. I just think that ability of his is fantastic because he could, you could roll 2 disrupt and a +2 or whatever. You can completely take out his dice, use it for his ability, pick a card at hand, get X amount of resources, put more stuff on your characters, then roll out. And if you're not happy with what you rolled, you can either get rid of that to pick up their hand again with Uncard's ability, and just start stacking up more money and just build up resources for the next round. I'm at number 3 now. Number 3 is gonna have to go to Karn Lord. I love that card. That card is my absolute favorite. It's just the special on it is amazing. It spend 5 resources to kill somebody at the end of the round.
Yeah, you gotta look for it.
And it's just pretty good. My number 2 would have to be Sith Holocron. That card it's the best blue card in the entire game.
It is.
No matter what.
You can't dispute that.
For heroes and for villains, it doesn't matter. The Sith Holocron is the best blue card. It's a cost 0 upgrade with a focus, a +1 resource, a resource, +1 resource, and 2 specials or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 2 specials, a resource modifier, and a focus.
It's really good for cost 0. Put anything you want in place of it. And the number 1 would have to be, my, Papa Palpatine, make the galaxy great again.
Of course.
He's just too good. 28 for 15 health, that's sure. But yeah, so Sunday we got the store championship. I'm gonna see if we can do a podcast right after that. So our memories can be nice and fresh. I'm gonna do my very best to get the winner of that tournament to join us in the podcast.
Mm-hmm. That'd be good.
For that, and if not that, I'll probably see if I can get the first Hokage, Cornelius, to join us. But thank you guys for listening so much. This is Justin Legend Rodriguez. We got Corporate Model, the Big Daddy, Jeremy Stone, and this is the Destiny CCG podcast, The High Ground. And thank you guys for listening so much, and we'll be back hopefully on Sunday night. See you guys later.
Hello.